Who do you
court and
think is at the
alimony.
head of the household?
Who do I think is at the head of the household? In what
Mhm.
sense? I
Well,
think you both
like a
have
car
to.
has one driver's seat. It's got one steering wheel. There's a passenger seat.
Mhm.
There's a trunk. There's back seats. Like, who drives the car? Like, who's the head of the household?
That depends. Listen, I'm not
It
going to
depends
sit
on
here and
what,
tell
though.
other people to make decisions like the way I would. I
Mhm.
think that in terms of
No, but
children,
I'm
for
asking your
example,
opinion
generally it's
because
the
we
wife.
have
In
a
terms of, well,
disagreement, right?
what's for dinner, it's generally the wife. In terms of, who brings home the bacon, that's whoever in the relationship. There's plenty of women who bring home the bacon. I'm not going to sit here and tell you one size fits all. That's the difference between us. You're trying to say that all
No,
women have to
I'm asking
conform
you
to
for your
this.
opinion on, who should be the head of the household.
Whoever in that relationship is the one that takes that role on. I mean, what does that
Do you
mean?
think that?
Pays the bill?
No, but
Like,
do you think that women should be at the head of the household?
if that is what they want in the relationship. I mean,
Do you think that
I'm
women like
thinking
being
clearly,
at the
I'm
head of the
pretty sure.
household?
I'm sorry?
Do you think women like being at the head of the household?
I know I don't necessarily know. I love being able to just be the wife. I don't think that being the head of the household is necessarily something we strive for. I think that it's something that, again, we've been put into a position. We have nowhere to go. We have no way to win in this war. There's nothing that I'm saying here tonight that it's like, um, something has to give. You can't have it all. If you are going to be a stay-at-home mom, if you're going to take care of your kids and
Mm.
you're not going to have a job, then yes, you probably are going to have a man who's going to take care of the bills and is going to want to be the head of the household. And that's wonderful. And you should, if that is what is right for you, you should absolutely go down that path.
Yeah,
In my
like
case,
the
I
problem
was
with
the
it though.
breadwinner. I married a man the first
Mm.
time around, the father of my children, who, when I married him, wasn't wasn't a breadwinner. And I told him, I'm going to stay home because my kid's not going to go to daycare. I
Mm.
want to raise my child. And I started a business from my dining room table because I wanted to stay with my child. I wanted to
Is this the
be.
business that he's running right now?
It is. Mhm.
Okay, so he's taking care of the business. You guys have settled that,
We
right?
broke up. Yep.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm asking you about, like who leads, because there has to be a leader, right? And I'm getting a lot of like, I mean, I'm just going to call it wishy-washy. Like it's, well, whoever needs to be the head of the household or whoever's the best fit sort of thing. And it's like, no, I mean, we kind of have to define these terms, right? Like who should be,
Who has to define
the
this term?
captain, who's the one that's going to be driving that ship? Because when
But
women
why?
do it,
Who
we
died
get
and made us
incredibly.
the ones to decide this? I think that
Well,
people
I'm
in the
asking you
relationship
for your
should
opinion
choose it.
because you disagree with some of the things that I'm talking about. So I'm trying
I
to get to some
disagreed
better
about the way
solutions.
you talked about women. I'm not the relationship aspect of it. I like be
No,
whatever
I
you
think you
want to
took it out of
be.
context, is what you did, because I didn't actually say that women have no value after 23. That's what you said. I just said that women hit two walls, and the
Yeah,
walls
the one
based
where
on her
they
looks, because women are beauty objects to men, which we've already established because you put on makeup, because you put yourself in a bikini to sell yourself. Like,
I
if you
wasn't
didn't care
selling
about your
myself
looks,
to
you
get a
wouldn't
man.
do
I was
anything to
selling
look
myself
good.
to get my political points across. I was selling myself to get an ideology across. I
Right,
am
but
not
you know
selling
that your
myself
looks
for a
get the
man
attention of men, right? I mean, like your
and
second husband
women.
chose you because of your looks. You understand that, of course.
I'm sure he chose me for my looks and many other things.
Right. So,
Let's
but
let's
it
take
is
a
the main
quick
thing.
pause on this.
Yeah.
I wanna get Brianna's thoughts on sort of this discourse, this back and forth that's been going for the last little while, and just kind of see what you're thinking, see what your positions are when it comes to some of this stuff.
My position on what? Who should be the head of the
On
household?
anything, if it's head of household, if it's do you agree that we're going in the opposite directions for men and women, and why that might be? Anything that you've kind of heard over the last like 10 or 15 minutes, maybe that you want to chime in on.
Okay. I understand what Martha is saying, but for me personally, I would want the man to be the head of the household. I think a lot of women, not all, I can't speak for all women, but I think a lot of women, that's what they want. They want a man that allows them to be feminine, and they don't want to have to be the one that makes all the decisions. And I certainly don't want to be the breadwinner of my house, especially as a teacher. Like, that would be awful. So for me personally, I think the man should be the head of the household. That's what I would want. As far as, are we going the opposite direction of what we should be going, as in women working?
Men and women not being together and breaking apart from one another, or is Maybe I want to sidetrack and ask a second question, because I think what you said right there is really interesting to me.
Okay.
I want to ask a follow up, because you kind of said from your experience, your perspective, and I know we're not asking you to speak for all women here, but in your perspective, you think that generally women want to be led, not to be the leaders. But do you find, because I do, but I want to see if you do, I find that generally what's being preached in mainstream media or mainstream society, that's no longer acceptable, or it's not even okay to want that. It has to be, go make the money, go get the degrees, go be the entrepreneur, protect yourself from men. So it's interesting. So when you're hearing from women that are saying, hey, like, I don't want to be the leader, I want to be led, is that your own just experience? Is that circles of friends, or where are you sort of getting these ideas?
That's my personal opinion, as well as I've seen TikToks of it. I've seen people in my own life, people that I work with. But at the flip side, I do know women who they have no problem stepping into that head of the household role, and they enjoy doing that. But for me personally, I don't want that. That's not what I want to embody. I don't like having to be the person that is going to make all of the decisions, that has to be relied on solely financially.
Is that the way that most women think? Do you ladies think, or no?
I mean, doesn't everyone? Wouldn't you want somebody who like not have to worry financially? I don't think it's necessarily about the person. Wouldn't you want to not have to worry about financial? I've never married a man that was rich when I married him, so I wouldn't know if that, like, I just intuitively I would rather be rich than poor. I mean, I don't know what
No, I think I could probably distill the way that you see it. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to see yourself as a kingmaker, right?
I don't see myself as a kingmaker. I see myself
Hang
as
on a second. You
a
put something in your
stereotypical
timeline.
woman. Sure, I see myself as a stereotypical woman of yesteryear, one who married somebody and then supported him through his goals. So, for example,
Didn't you say something along the lines of like every partner that you've had,
my two
you've
husbands,
raised
yes,
them up? Yeah.
yes, that is my job as their wife. My job as
Yeah.
their
So I
wife
just
is
sort
to
of
make their
summarize
life
it
as
as like you see
easy.
yourself as a kingmaker, right?
I never said it that I was a kingmaker. I said my job
No,
as
you didn't
no.
say
You
that, but
can
I'm
read
just
the quote.
summarizing it that way.
If that's how you feel, my job as their
No, that's what I
wife
think.
is to be the person that takes care of the things to allow them to pursue their own passions, to
Mhm.
pursue the things that make them them.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.